Just one problem. Not everyone was thriving. The man who led his players to such heights is known as much for his winning ways as for his tantrums and abusive antics. Bobby Knight's success on the court is undeniable. His insistence on toughness being a critical factor in performance is similarly backed by both research and experience. But his methods to achieve it are questionable at best and downright abusive at worst. There were the tampons hanging from the lockers of players he thought were soft. There was the frequent cussing out of players and the accusation that he ordered managers to tape pictures of women's genitalia in players' rooms. There was the 1991 tape of one of his tirades. "This is absolute fucking bullshit. Now I'll fucking run your ass right into the ground. I had to sit around for a fucking year with an 8-10 record in this fucking league. And I mean, you will not put me in that fucking position again, or you will goddamn pay for it like you can't fucking believe." And the time he brought a piece of toilet paper from the bathroom covered in shit to show his players what he thought of them. Then there was the physical abuse marked by the infamous video of Knight choking a player at practice. All in the name of creating Knight's version of toughness. Soft, female genitalia, questioning manhood. All actions that clue us in on Knight's actual definition of toughness, one founded on showing no weakness, bulldozing through obstacles, and utilizing fear to establish authority and control. A version we would now call old school in an attempt to place distance between such barbaric practices and the present. But it's an idea that still dominates the playing fields and performance halls of our present. We have a fundamental misunderstanding of what toughness is, and it pervades far more than the basketball courts. Tough parenting. Very demanding, cold and non-nurturing, controlling, one-way communication, using harsh punishment. No, we aren't describing Bobby Knight's coaching handbook, but one of the 4 main parenting styles. In the 1960s, developmental psychologist Diana Baumrind pioneered our understanding of parenting. Through research and observation, she discovered that parenting styles can be classified based on 2 factors, responsiveness and demandingness. Baumrind defined responsiveness as the extent to which parents intentionally foster individuality, self-regulation, and self-assertion by being attuned, supportive, and acquiescent to children's special needs and demands. In other words, how well do parents respond to and meet the needs of their children? After they lose a soccer match, do you greet your child with warmth and support? Or do you go straight into criticizing their play? Demandingness, on the other hand, refers to the claims parents make on children to become integrated into the family whole by their maturity demands, supervision, disciplinary efforts, and willingness to confront the child who disobeys. In other words, how high are the parents' expectations for their child, and how much control do they exert to regulate or influence their child? Plotting these 2 characteristics, Baumrind found that most parents fell into 3 categories that lined up with Goldilocks' search for the perfect bed. If a parent was low in demandingness and high in responsiveness, they were too soft, a permissive parent who would let their child get away with just about anything. If a parent was high in demandingness and low in responsiveness, they were too hard, an authoritarian who relied on harsh discipline with little attention to the child's needs. Parents who use an authoritarian style don't trust their children to make good decisions. The parent is in charge, and the child is to obey. Authoritarian parents rely on fear, threats, and punishment to ensure that their children make good choices. A typical refrain from an authoritarian parent might be, "You need to do this because I said so." In one study of over 1,000 parents, only 31% of authoritarian parents said that they should love their child unconditionally. When it comes to motivation, it's about the sticks, not the carrots. It's easy to identify the authoritarian parent. Upon seeing their child miss a shot, they are the ones who jump straight to criticism. They are the parent who grounds their kid after every subpar test score, locking their child in their room to study without offering support for how to improve her grades besides a trite suggestion to work harder. The father who perceives his role is to toughen up their boys, commanding them to suck it up, don't cry, grow up, and never show fear. Even as views have shifted, Many parents see harsh discipline as not only